if the goal is to be happy, it's going to be something like sand that just slips through your fingers. But if the goal is bigger than that, is brighter than that, has a bigger depth to it, then I think happiness can become a beautiful byproduct.
The thought of actually letting ourselves believe that we could have this thing, it's terrifying. Because what if I get it and I lose it? Hey everybody, it's Bianca.
And this is Emilia.
And welcome to another episode of Evolve Ventures, where we are making evolution possible for growth-minded humans like each and every single one of you through vulnerable lessons, stories, and technology. We hope you enjoyed the episode that came out last Thursday, number 170. These therapy tools are toxic. For today, Motivation Monday 171, this is why you struggle feeling happy. I've heard this time and time and time again and I've really gone through this too, where we all so deeply just want to be happy, right? Like we all just want that fairy tale life of like, you know, whatever it looks like for you, right? But like, I'll speak for me, like married, a family, our business booming, like helping people, doing all of the amazing things that we get to do. We all have some version of that we're clinging to and that we're looking to and that we want so deeply. And most of us really, really struggle actually getting it. And we really struggle in our pursuit of that. And one of the biggest things that really gets in the way from what I've seen and from what I've heard so many people saying is ultimately it comes down to fear. And a big component of that is this concept that I first heard from Brené Brown that I love her, that I really started understanding a lot lately and have been seeing in a lot of people as this concept of foreboding joy. That we want these things. We want them so badly. We want them so much. But the thought of actually letting ourselves believe that it's possible, the thought of actually letting ourselves believe that we could have this thing, it's terrifying. Because what if I get it and I lose it? Because what if I strive for this thing and I reach for it and I go and I miss and I fail? And Brené Brown talks about this situation that she had where when she was a new mom, she was like standing over the crib of her daughter and was looking at her daughter and was like, I love you so much. And then the next moment, like thought of like something terrible happening to her daughter. And she's like, why do we do that? Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to be talking about here today in this next few minutes is, why do we do that? Why is it so scary to believe that good things can happen to us? And how do we start working towards that? So, I will pose those two questions to you.
Okay, so I recently watched a movie that I'm not quite too proud of just because I really didn't feel like much came out of it. But anyways, I think more of it did. So anyways, happy Monday, y'all. So in this episode, my intention is to make sure that I bring to you some vibes for the Monday that you need, but also in addition to that, a couple of the quotes from this video, because I think it's actually quite relevant to answering your question B. So I'm going to start off with a quote from the movie that talks about winners and losers. And if you've ever watched the movie, it was actually pretty hardcore and straight, and it was kind of making fun of personal development a little bit, but there's so much science that's rooted in the quote that I'm about to say, which is there are two kinds of people in this world. Now, granted, that's not the case because the world isn't binary. All right. So we understand that, but winners and losers, and right, like that goes to the classic, like black and white thinking, which doesn't fully exist, you know? So with that, inside each and every single one of you, including you listening right now, yes, you, hello, deep inside of you and the core being of you, there is a winner waiting to be awakened and unleashed upon the world, willing yourself to win. Now, I'm like iffy about that quote, but I want to bring it forward because I think that, to your point, B, there's so much fear that we get bombarded with on the day-to-day, and a lot of it's subconscious, right? There's so many subconscious fears that we have and that we accumulate out as we grow up and as we get deeper into life, that we get so much programmed by fear. And it's actually I believe in the suffering, and in not like the hardcore challenging suffering, but like the good type of suffering, the good challenge, right? The one where you are striving towards something that's bigger than just happiness itself. I personally believe that if your goal is happiness, you're never really going to find or attract it, because you're never going to actually scrape the surface of unlocking that quote unquote winner inside you. Whereas if the goal is bigger, and not necessarily in size, but in terms of reach for you, your unique potential, your unique capabilities, I do believe that in that pursuit, that is where happiness becomes the byproduct of it. And so I think that why people don't actually, get that happiness, I can literally go in everything from, different hormones being able to be released based on their sleep schedule to literally this belief about themselves that happiness is unachievable for them, right? We can go through every single thing, but that's really where I come in on this topic, because I think if the goal is to be happy, it's going to be something like sand that just slips through your fingers. But if the goal is bigger than that, is brighter than that, has a bigger depth to it, then I think happiness can become a beautiful byproduct.
A major component of it really just comes down to fear. Most of us are terrified. Most of us have been told our entire life, don't strive for more. Don't get too big for your britches, or, whatever the quote is that you heard. It's like we've all been told this narrative that we need to stay small and don't aim for more and be grateful for what you have and whatever. And it came from well-meaning people who were just terrified, and they pushed that fear onto all of us. If you really want to be happy, if you really want not even just true happiness, but like true fulfillment, because I think, to your point, happiness is a byproduct of fulfillment. You got to be willing to discard that old narrative. You got to be willing to put yourself out there. You got to be willing to, try harder and try more and do more things and be vulnerable and be courageous, with the understanding that pain might come. But that's what makes it worth it. If Emilia and I if we weren't willing to go through the pain of everything that we're doing to have everything that we're going to have, we wouldn't have anything that we have. And we wouldn't be working towards becoming the extremely successful women that we're becoming. And we wouldn't have the relationships that we have and friendships and the impact and everything that we're able to have. It's all from this willingness, to your point, Em, to suffer a little bit, to kind of face that fear, that really, really deep fear, because we understand that we're going to be better as a result of it. So, we got to wrap up. Episode suggestion: And any final comments?
My final takeaway for all of y'all on this Monday is reestablishing what pain and suffering means to you, because I do believe that we're so afraid and that fear gets passed down. I know sometimes we don't even realize it. So reestablishing what fear and what pain and what suffering means to you so that you can get the glory within it. And my episode suggestion is 157, Motivation Monday. What are you paying for happiness?
Mine is 163, Motivation Monday, how to find more hope. Thank you so much to everyone listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you are looking for other people just like you who are going to be able to help you, right? Help you to have more courage, help you to work through that fear, help you to become the person that you always have wanted to become, join Evolve Ventures Society. It is an amazing group of people who are just always vulnerable and are becoming more and more courageous in their communication with each other. I've seen that group grow, and I'm seeing more and more people being willing to share in that group. And it's really just been such an amazing experience to get to see. So if you want to be in a group of people like that, because I know that's what I've been searching for so long. And Emilia and I were just like, why don't we just create it? Like, why don't we just make that group that we've been looking for? And that's exactly what we did. So if you've been looking for a group like that, if you're finally ready to be around other growth-minded people, join Evolve Venture Society. The link is in the description. And that's where we're going to be putting all of the information regarding group coaching. So if you want to take it even another step, if you want to increase your growth even that much more, all of our information about group coaching is going to be released in Evolve Venture Society. So we are excited to see you there, and we'll see you next time.
Bye everybody.